Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up here, guys. Wake up. It is finally freaking Friday. And, man, I can see clearly. It's actually really kind of cool. I got my glasses yesterday. And that's going to enable me to do a couple of things here. Because I have this whole setup in front of me, okay? You guys, you know, some of you have seen me show you my set and things like that. There's literally a computer screen and 3 television screens right in front of me, right there. And I have to have the camera, so that way it's centered with me and all that. But I have to keep the camera at a certain distance so that way you can see the football gods at the top and that you can see the days there in the bottom. So it's a ways away, but I can't have the TV screen in front of the camera. So I've got a 32-inch TV so that way I can actually see your comments as they come through and read them. But a lot of times I'm kind of like, I can't see it. But now, because I got my glasses, wow, they're crystal clear, and I can see the screens, and so I can lower the computer because I can push it back further. So instead of me having to kind of look up here when I'm looking at the stuff up top, I don't have to do that. I can look straight ahead. I can drop all this stuff down because I can move it back, and it should make it actually a little bit easier on my eyes and easier for me to be able to respond to you guys. So, you know, we're always trying to upgrade, and it's kind of crazy for me because this year, I wasn't able to put another locker in. I filled up the whole space here, so unless I can build another room onto the house, this is it as far as the lockers go. And I'm going to try and see about getting maybe another camera and some other things, maybe a microphone that'll maybe make me sound a little bit better, or maybe I need a facelift or something to try and make myself look a little bit better. But we're getting close to the season starting, so I need to start cleaning and organizing and dusting and getting this thing together. And hopefully we're going to be, you know, we know there's not going to be very many fans that are going to be able to go to the games. There will be some lucky few that'll be able to and so on, but we're not going to be one of them, unfortunately. But what we're going to be doing for the season is we're going to be still broadcasting, of course, live streams from our man cave here. We're going to be doing Zoom-in calls with you channel members as well. So that way we're all kind of together. And I will have a couple of people over, you know, but we may end up doing it outside, okay, because we got the whole outdoor man cave over there. You know, we can socially distance outside. We got the TV out there. So one way or the other, we will be here for the season, provided there is a season. So this morning I got up, you know, I was happy that yesterday for the second day that nobody's tested positive for the coronavirus for the Cowboys, that we at the moment have everybody on board as far as, you know, players wise after we had the first 2 that opted out. D-Law is there and so on. And you're feeling hopeful right now. You know, you can't let your guard down because this thing is constantly evolving and so on. We don't know where we'll be, you know, 2 weeks from now. Hell, we don't know where we'll be tomorrow with dealing with this virus and things. But at least at the moment, we're okay. So this morning, as I was coming down here, and I've been doing a little bit of stuff on here while I varnished, put some stain on the door. I've got some time today that I'm going to be around here, so I'm going to be doing some work. Came across the cowherd talking with Moose Johnson about my quarterback Dak Prescott and dealing with the franchise tag, and I thought it was actually really good, and I wanted to play that for you guys and then discuss it a little bit here.
I get why players don't like the franchise tag. I'm not a huge fan of it, and I'm not always for the players. There are times I think owners have rights. They create the capital. The XFL folds because, you know, the owners aren't making money. You do need capital. So I'm not always pro-player. I don't love the franchise tag. I could make an argument, and I like Dak. I don't love him. I like him. I like his leadership. I like his maturity and toughness. But I could understand this morning if he's like, I made my owner $400 million. This team was a mess. The networks didn't even want to put us on for about a year, and I won the division twice. Would you understand if there's a little resentment by Dak thinking, guys, I made people a lot of money here in Dallas. This is the biggest brand in the world for sports. What if he's a little bitter? You'd be okay with it?
Absolutely. I was a little bitter in my career at times. I can't sit here and judge other people. When you're competitive, just everything you just talked about with LeBron James, and you went not only into sports but into business as well. When you're wired that way, you also want to be validated in the belief that you have in yourself. So, yeah, there were 2 negotiations for me when I was a little bit bitter. I felt that I was underappreciated. My first opportunity for a good contract, the organization told me, hey, you've done a really nice job the last 2 seasons, but we want to see it one more time.
Yeah. So
before the franchise tag was even in place, I got kind of the franchise tag. Not to the numbers they are today, but I got a 1-year deal, not a substantial increase in pay, but it was kind of a, let's see it one more time. If you prove it, we'll get you the big next year. We'll get you the big contract. You better believe you're a little bit frustrated and a little bit bitter. Now, what do you do with that? For me, okay, you just put everything into my court. Now I'm going to go out and show you that you probably should have signed me to the contract this year, and when you chose not to, I'm going to control the outcome next year during the course of negotiations. So it's really just how you handle it, how do you react to it, and how you respond to it. And I think that Dak, everything you said, I absolutely agree. You really like him. We just talked about Russell and the intangibles that Russell has. Dak has a lot of those same qualities and those same character values. I see him embracing this and making the Cowboys, pay for the fact that they franchise tagged them this year.
It's interesting. Leadership. I asked Jimmy Johnson one time about leadership, and he goes, I don't know what it is. He goes, Troy had it, whatever it is. He goes, I can't explain it. And when I watch, Patrick Mahomes, I thought Carson Wentz at the end of last year, that was leadership. Everybody's hurt. He just put the team on his shoulders. When and leadership isn't talent. There are, Matt Hasselbeck, I thought, had some real leadership skills. I don't think he had the biggest arm or the greatest skill set. When you go back and you look at Mahomes, one of the things I like about Patrick is his ability to improvise, ad-lib, open to coaching, which, by the way, not everybody is. When you go back to Troy Aikman, if you can define it, we all know Troy had an arm. What made Troy great? Because Patrick has a chance to be Troy, reel off multiple Super Bowl here. In hindsight, what was it with Troy that you first noticed that was just different than other guys you play with or seen?
Great offense.
There's a unique quality that not only players have, but I think a lot of the great coaches have. I think it's one of the common threads, and they have the ability to make you want to be the best you possibly can be, so they will respect you as a player, and that's what Troy has. That's what Troy did for all of us. Yeah, I wanted to earn his respect. When he talked about me to other people, I wanted him to talk, with a lot of complimentary, things. He works hard. Just all the things that I valued. I wanted him to see that in me. I wanted him to respect me as a player. And I had a coach in college who was the same way. It's very rare when you get that, and it's probably one of the components that LeBron had and all the other people that you mentioned in that previous segment. You want to earn their respect. You want them to value you as a teammate. And that was one of the great things that Troy had. And then when you get a group of guys who all want to do that together, that's when you see a team really become something special. And the one thing that I think, I don't know Patrick Mahomes well. I haven't been around him. I don't know if he has that quality. The thing that I love about Patrick Mahomes is his passion for the game. And that is infectious as well. So there's a number of different ways to be that leader. And it was one of the things that our great teams had. We had a number of different guys who led in different ways. Eric Williams, was our physical presence. Michael Irvin was the heart and soul of the team, the emotional leader. Troy was where the buck stops. He was the alpha leader in that group of probably 6 or 7 guys with great leadership qualities. That's when it gets fun. And I think with a guy like Patrick Mahomes, the passion he plays the game with.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Just a little side note here. I'm noticing, actually, Moose Johnson, it's great because I got the glasses, but he's got this bell collection. And this reminds me of a job that we did at the Smithsonian at the Sackler Museum, which had all of these antique bells that were 2,000 and 3,000 years old. I think from India or somewhere around in that area and stuff. It's a really beautiful collection that he has. But great interview with Moose Johnson, thinking and putting things in perspective with Dak Prescott, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, Dak's going to be pissed off. He's going to, he's not going to show up and everything else for the Cowboys." No, actually, when you're in that position of being franchise tagged, everything you are doing is about actually making more money. So you're still at the top 5 of the pay scale for that season. Okay? He's got the highest cap number of anybody out there. The problem with it is you've got no long-term, security. For example, Alex Smith went to Washington, got that $73 million contract, 3 years of which were, $66 million, I think, guaranteed. So he ends up screwing up his leg and can't play the next 2 years, although they're saying that he might be able to, he's on the PUP list at the moment. But he had the security of knowing that, hey, they can't just cut me. At least they're going to give me something for my time. And unfortunately for Dak Prescott, his whole career has basically been that way. You look at his rookie contract that he has truly outlived, where he was getting 680, outperformed it, so he gets $2 million the fourth year. You look at that and say it was only $4 million, and for him playing last year for $2 million, and I know everybody will say, well, he gets all kinds of endorsements because he's a Dallas Cowboys quarterback. He gets all kinds of endorsements because he's a really good Dallas Cowboy quarterback. If you're not a great quarterback for the Cowboys, you're not getting endorsements. It's not going to happen. You have to be a winner. You have to be a stand-up guy. You have to be somebody that people can look up and say, oh, there's no skeletons in the closet. So don't put that on just because you're a quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Because if that's the case, Quincy Carter would still be doing ads and stuff for it. Ryan Leaf would be doing ads for us. Drew Henson would be still doing ads and making money in Dallas. So it's beyond just the semantics that a lot of you guys put into it. But Dak, regardless, is about winning. And unfortunately, that part of it is about the business side of it. But when Dak Prescott gets on that field with his teammates, you can believe they're all about one thing, and that is doing everything they can to win. People will say that, you just love Dak Prescott, man. You're not really a Cowboy fan. Man, I have been a Cowboy fan from birth. And the reason I support Dak is I see and think that he is the best thing for the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of people say, you know what, just let him go. We'll just draft somebody else. That's somebody that really doesn't know the NFL very well, because the chances of finding really, really good quarterbacks, it's not easy, bro. And we've been spoiled having Dak Prescott right after Tony Romo. Now, in talking about Troy Aikman, Troy Aikman has those 3 rings. Troy Aikman was a great quarterback. I will never, ever dispute that. But if you compare what Troy Aikman had versus what Dak Prescott had, it's not the same, bro. You had Bill Bates, the first player to make the Pro Bowl as a special teamer. Okay, let me say that again. The first player to ever make the special teams Pro Bowl. Made himself a legend on special teams. Who can you say on the Dallas Cowboys played above average on special teams? Let's just use that for an example. You had a defense that stopped the run, that literally had a player who could take one side of the field. A crazy Hall of Famer on the outside, putting a foot not only in the other team's ass, but his own team's ass. The #1 rated defense in the NFL. How does that compare with the defense we currently have? Is that the same? You had Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, an evaluator of talent. A mastermind who had a Norv Turner as his offensive coordinator. How does that rank with Jason Garrett and crew? You had possibly the best offensive line maybe ever in football. An embarrassment of riches. Emmitt Smith, all-time leading rusher. And I'm not going to say Emmitt was the best running back in football because, you know, some of those holes that those guys opened up, my old ass could run through and get 3 or 4 yards. And you had a playmaker who didn't drop the ball. So, yes, Troy was key, but Troy didn't do that on his own. If we can get Dak to keep stepping up, do a little bit more, and we can get those other faces there together, we'll be right there with the rest of those Dallas Cowboys teams, and I have faith. So that being said, I got some work to go do, and I appreciate you guys. And tonight for our live stream, make sure you tune in 9 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to be doing a little bit of change. I might do a little work down here in between working in the workshop. You may see a few little changes in here tonight. You know, just a little. They may be subtle, and you may not even notice them, but there'll be a few little things we're going to do in here. And I've got something special that gets here sometime today between 11:50 and 5:15, delivered from FedEx. So I can't wait to bring that and show that to you guys. Oh my goodness, I just love it. I just love it. So I'll see you guys later on with any news on the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Mark Holmes, and I hope you have a great day. See you soon.